welcome to another video from the Talking Apple guys, from the Talking Apple podcast. You'll find it on iTunes, so subscribe. Today we're doing a very brief comparison between these two phones. The top of the range, or so many people would assume, is top of the range Android phone at the moment, which is a Samsung Galaxy S2. And of course, the iPhone 4S just came a few days ago out from Apple. Now, just bear in mind before I do start the comparison, in fact, this is the latest generation, whereas Google just announced Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich, which will come out in another Samsung phone, but not this one. But at the moment, these on the market are the two Android and iPhone competitors, the best competitors. So we'll see what we can compare them like. Let's see if we do a boot just to see how fast these phones boot. So the Samsung Galaxy S2 has a faster processor. It clocks at, if I'm not mistaken, 1.2 is a dual-core processor, whereas the iPhone is dual-core, but it's down at 800 megahertz. So you can see this one is already booted up. It's obviously still doing some stuff because it's not responding. There we go. So actually, by the time they load completely, I would say it's probably about the same time. Now, as I was saying, the iPhone has got a dual-core processor, but it runs at 800 megahertz. But don't be fooled by that. Even though this phone has 30% more clock speed, Apple spends a lot of money and, in fact, has something like 1,000 employees working to improve the chip from ARM, a UK company. So they get the chip and then they improve it to do things like battery management and faster and a big improvement in the speed when you work with their own OS, with iOS. So what we can do here, because we've just booted both of them, there shouldn't be any apps in RAM. So this should be good for us to test some of these things. Now, let me just try and boot some apps that both the phones have installed. Now, bear in mind, of course, this one, the apps are built on Objective-C. This one, they're built on Java. But at the end of the day, for example, Filter Runners is made by the same people, so they have the same priorities: speed, design, graphics. So we should see a pretty close boot time. So let's try Filter Runners. 1, 2, 3. So pretty close, but the iPhone was slightly faster, which is quite good when you think that it is a slower processor. Let's try something else. Let's try perhaps Cut the Rope. 1, 2, 3. Now that one is done. Where's the iPhone? I have to say though, the iPhone, this is the first time I'm loading this app, but that was faster there. Let's try something else. Perhaps TuneIn Radio, which is a great app. If you don't have it, then you should get it. Let's see if I can find it here. So there it is. Both have that app installed. So if you go from there in 3, 2, 1, go. So just about the same. The Galaxy 2 perhaps opened that a little bit faster. Again, these are not exactly the same apps. Let's try and perhaps load a radio station. If we go to perhaps local radio, you should find about the same thing. Okay, let's go to the first one over here. iPhone is already playing it. The Android one is buffering, and I think it's playing even though you can't hear it. There it is. Cool. All right, so pretty close again. The iPhone just managed to load that slightly faster there. A good comparison to make is when it comes to browsing, because that's really where you see the power of a phone and the little tweaks that a company makes to to have these phones really run fast and load and render the pages quickly is on the browser. So they're both connected to the same network. So perhaps what we can do here is try and load a page. I should have typed this before, shouldn't I? So if we go to, I don't know, perhaps a big page, New York Times, NewYorkTimes.com, it's right there, NewYorkTimes.com. So in 3, 2, 1. So that is loaded. The iPhone. Oh, okay. This one loaded the. That's not quite fair, is it? This one loaded the. Let's try that. The Android loaded the mobile version. So, of course, now the iPhone has some in cache. But let's try a link here. Perhaps this first one over here. 1, 2, 3. Now, in previous tests, I did found that the iPhone was a little bit faster, but from what I can tell here, they're pretty close. Let's go in here to the bottom of the page, and let's click on that image over there. 1, 2, 3. And that one's finished. That one is now finished. So in this case, the Android was slightly faster. Now, okay, so I think you can tell there's a slight difference there due to the higher, the faster processor. But overall, they're pretty close machines when it comes to performance. I'm not going to end up talking here about the advances of Android to the advances of iOS, but I just wanted to give you a nice impression. In terms of camera, they're about the same speed when it comes to take a picture. Of course, the iPhone has the advantage of taking a picture straight from the home screen. If you double click there's an icon there for the camera, whereas this one doesn't have that capability. I suppose if you put some third-party programs in there, you might be able to do it. But Ice Cream Sandwich will bring that along as well. And Ice Cream Sandwich will also bring voice commands straight to the home screen, which is important. So there you have it. It's a brief comparison. Just compare the sizes. In the UK, there was a big legal fight between the iPhone and the Samsung makers, because Samsung said, no, this is the thinnest phone out there. And Apple said, no, this is the thinnest one. And eventually Apple won simply because the Android phone has this hedge over here. This little bulge at the end of the phone, which makes it slightly thicker overall. But there you have it. It's another comparison, another video from the Talking Apple guys. Subscribe to our podcast at talkingapple.co.uk. Also find it in iTunes. So see you guys soon. Bye-bye.